Hey guys, Don here. Welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. I'm using a little bit of a different mic, so if the audio is a little off, that's the reason. So I am going to go over how it's been going. So this is a recording of what happened on Friday. So we are on day 3 of our live for ModMed. I wish I could talk to you about kind of what's helping me to get to the $1 million mark. But my brain is so filled with this new EMR. Actually, I feel like I'm regressing a little bit, meaning I'm doing what's the simplest thing to get them through and get the medical record note done, and then I'm going to see them back, and maybe I'll be a little bit easier to see the patient. But on Friday, as I was recording this, Marjorie was not there to help me, so. Thankfully, the best thing we did, though, is we reduced the number of patients we saw, because even with that, I didn't get home till about 8 o'clock because I had, as you know, on Fridays, I have my routine half day. So it was a half day of routine patients. I saw them, and I basically, what I did is in the little note section, I wrote in kind of the notes, and then I went back and I did the notes, and I couldn't do it while I was seeing patients, but I did it at the end of the day. But after I got the hang of it, I think it's really going to make me a little bit better of a biller, because knowing kind of what is regular, covered by insurance, what's self-pay, type of nail care, class findings, and kind of qualifying diagnoses. So it's something, because we don't do a lot of it. I kind of poo-pooed it all along, meaning I didn't really take the time to learn it because it seemed a little complex, and I got frustrated, and I didn't want to focus on it because I didn't want to do it. But with this new system, it kind of makes me do it, which is kind of a good thing. So I kind of learned how to do that on Friday, and really the nice thing about ModMed is it has this it makes everything bright yellow. So if you try to do it, and you don't have the right codes in there, it doesn't even allow you to save the note or finalize the note. So that was on Friday. Then I have a friend. He works for a venture capital group that buys orthopedics practices, and so they buy 30%, and then they can help with efficiencies. So the practice really is run out by the doctors, but they just help it be a little bit more efficient, and then they get a percentage of what's produced. So he met with us on Saturday. So I did a special session on Saturday, and what he kind of said is, and it was true. So when they set us up from ModMed, the trainers or the coaches there, they know how to do it in theory, but they don't really do it all the time. So he really went in there and fixed a few things that were underneath the hood. So it might be something I would recommend, is trying to find a private ModMed coach if you're going to do that, at least just for a couple of sessions. So we did one with him. What he did, like, for example, for the treatment rooms, for example, you can have like a treatment room. Like, we had 6 treatment rooms. So what he recommended, you would have treatment room 1, and then you'd have treatment room 1 with MA, and then treatment room 1 ready for doctor, or ready for the doctor. So where they're at in the journey, they don't have to come and knock on our door. So up to now, they've been kind of coming to see us. Now, we know in the room, we're not really sure when they're ready for us, and we don't have. There's a couple of different ways you can do it, but this way it makes it easier by actually making a separate room or separate location for that. This is one of the recommendations he made. He also made some recommendations, like if there are yellow things in the billing note, that it won't allow you to finalize it. So it makes you fix these things. So in this case, it kind of made me fix the routine care type of things. And then the last thing, which I really didn't know, is that when we were doing the notes, so basically the way it works is you go in there, you pick a diagnosis, you pick an exam, then you pick a diagnosis, and then you kind of document that diagnosis. So for example, plantar fasciitis, and then in the physical exam findings, you would put, plantar medial heel. Now, there's a ton of physical exam findings, and this is something I didn't know. They kind of told us in passing, but you can edit those to make it like what you normally do. So for me, for plantar fasciitis, there's a few different findings: plantar medial heel, central heel, lateral heel, plantar arch, or distal to the heel with a fibroma type of thing. And so those are the 4 physical exam findings I'll have, and you can rename things and hide everything else. So this is something I didn't know. So you hide everything else, you put in the names that you're going to use, and then pick it out on the foot, and then you pick in terms of the procedures or what your plans are. you're gonna do those, and with those as well, you can hide everything that you're not gonna do. So, for example, acupuncture for some reason shows up in everyone, and I just hid that because I don't really recommend for acupuncture. And then it's gonna have the main plans, and then based on those plans, that's what's gonna bring you up to the level of your office visit. And so, in most of them, if you're gonna do a procedure and a diagnosis or medical management, you're going to have to do separate and identifiable. So there are certain things that are going to constantly be doing for our type of practice, because we're not just doing office visits. And it's getting a little bit easier now. I'm day number 4 today as I'm recording this at my lunch hour, that I'm able to get to the level that I was before in the past, which would be like the level 4 if I'm doing medication management, and level 3 for most other things, level 2 if it's real simple. So I feel like it's getting better. I wish I could say I'm really creative and have great other ideas. I don't. My brain is so fried. And we are kind of on our own. Our staff are all stressed. But the good thing is we really reduced our visits today. So as I'm here on a Monday, we have a lot less visits. And even with a lot less visits, it's only enough time for me to catch up on my notes. My staff are they're a little bit lost, but I feel like the doctors were more lost. And also Morali, he's probably lost and frustrated, my scribe, so he's not able to help me at all. I'm kind of teaching him, and I think he will catch on, and it will be good, and it will be even better, in my opinion. Because eventually what happened is my buddy that met with us on Saturday, he showed how, once everything is set up you have to set it up in the virtual exam, then it's the same findings. Like the findings are the same, what we're going to do is the same, everything's the same, so it's going to make a lot quicker. I think the notes are even going to be quicker in this than it was in Athena, because of all the protocols that we can set up. So I think it's going to be better in the end. Other things that I'm kind of working on, so Al is going to be sending out a newsletter to all my Podiatry Practice Mastery, and I had a long chat with him, and what I feel like, kind of where we're going to go right now with Podiatry Practice Mastery, is he's going to make some offers in there. So basically, I'm just kind of teaching you can do the same thing for your practice even, right? But the offer is to ask me a question, which some people email me questions. And once again, if you have a question, email me down at podiatrypracticemastery.com, because from a lot of these questions, I then make content for the Practice Mastery Academy. And I feel like the Practice Mastery Academy, which is my online course, I think that's really for practices probably that are, if your individual production is around $600,000 to $700,000. It's because it's less expensive. You might have more time than you do money, and you would be willing to go in there, and it's cheap. It's about $125 a month. If you do it monthly, or if you do a full year, I think it's goes down to $97 a month. And so I just think that $1,200 that people are spending, you can have access to all these lectures and things like that. I think on top of that, though, if you're higher level, you want just more help. Like I want help from getting things, and so usually you pay for that. And the thought would be is this higher level would be we talked about a hot seat mastermind. So what a hot seat mastermind is basically we'd have a group within our mastermind, let's say, 7 people or 10 people. And then within this, we would meet, we would have a WhatsApp group so we can chat with each other. And then we would have every 7 months or every 10 months, we would rotate who's in the hot seat. So in the hot seat, what you would do is you would share your books. You would share kind of we'd have this format. You'd have to prepare for it, right? But you would hey, my main struggle is this. Here are my books. Here's how I'm doing. And then how can you help? So you would have to present your issue. It's called issue processing. And then we would ask you questions for about 20 minutes, and then we would spend time giving you suggestions for another 20 minutes. It's basically based on a mastermind type of idea where everyone would participate in that. So that is my thought. And we would have a restricted amount of people. And then we would have our own WhatsApp group for in between. So I think that's how I can give the biggest value to doctors that are trying to get up to the $1 million mark. And then for those that are over the $1 million mark, there's going to be another one. But it's hard for me to coach people that are over that, because that would be multiple practices, really huge groups, and I don't know if I'm the best fit person to do that. I can help you can help people get to my level, but to get beyond my level, it's a little bit challenging. So anyway, those are the things I'm working with Al on. So you might notice if you are on my emails, you're going to start getting an email from him. He's also going to include some of my family stories. I'm a big advocate of like this vulnerability, so sharing things about the family, sharing other types of practice management, marketing, sales types of things. So once again, I hope you guys found this beneficial. I don't have a ton of great things that I'm going to help you with individual patients. I'm still kind of keeping my head above water here with the new transition here. Okay, have a great one. We'll talk to you next time.